Welcome to the Mother-Daughter ISH podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, mothers and daughters, Miss Dawn here, back on my health series where I am talking this month about natural health and healing. So today, my topic is going to be about some of the most powerful natural antibiotics that you can put into your body. Let me tell you why this is so important. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not anything that has to do with the traditional medical field, but I have done a lot of research on natural healing modalities and things that possibly our ancestors were using, not maybe in the name form that I'm going to mention today, but in some form. And so my importance for me personally on natural health is just so that we know how to heal ourselves. So just imagine that we have a world one day where nothing's available to you because of whatever has happened in the world. You will have to figure out what's in your home to help yourself. So that's why I come from thinking of this natural healing part of wanting to share. And that's what I'm doing all month. Yesterday, I was talking about those different teas and everything. Today, by the way, from yesterday, I had hibiscus and some other teas. And today I'm just drinking white tea with some apricot frozen dry apricots in it. It tastes so good. But I'll tell you something too, with knowing what type of antibiotics that can help you, and these are the 11 most powerful ones, you can use this for, your kids and things like that too. So I'm gonna just go down the list and then just kind of, me, whenever I talk about something, I have to then give you a story about, how that particular thing helped me or whatever. It's just the way I am, even in regular conversation. If I'm talking about something very specific with someone, I'm going to always have a story to share, because here's the good thing about getting to the age that I am. You just about have a story for everything. Let me prove it to you. I was talking to my daughter the other day and she asked me a question and I went through this whole diatribe as to why. And she says, Mama, all you had to do is say yes or no. And I was like, yeah, but I don't work like that. My brain does not work like that. I need you to understand why my answer is a yes or a no. But one of the powerful antibiotics out of this list that I've gathered is apple cider vinegar. Now, the other day, I bought some apple cider vinegar powder because I want to start infusing it into some of my soaps. When I use powders, it works better for me than adding liquid because, let me be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention in math class, elementary, middle, high school, or college. Only went to college for 3 years and dropped out and was like, I already know what I want to do and none of this is going to help me. But I would prefer to use powder substances than to use liquid substances, because you don't want the consistency to throw off the percentages of, like, when I make my soaps, I like a firm bar. So I'll use different salts and different things. And when I use powders, it just makes that soap more firm, and I know what to use in there to make it lather good and all that. But I bought the apple cider vinegar powder because I wanted to start infusing that into some of my soaps, because I use apple cider vinegar on my face. I use it in my um holistic baths, or whatever you want to call them. I use apple cider vinegar for a lot of things. Here's the deal. We all know who owns Bragg's apple cider now. I don't have to mention the name. If you want to know, please go and Google who owns Bragg's, Braggs, apple cider vinegar, and look at some of the other apple cider vinegars, and you will figure all of that out yourself. I have gotten to this place where whenever I buy anything, if it has more than one ingredient that I don't understand, if it even has one, but if it has more than one ingredient and the other ones I don't understand, I do not buy it. Anytime I can lessen the confusion, I get a little bit happier every time. So apple cider vinegar is one of those most powerful antibiotics. Garlic is a powerful antibiotic. Now, if you're like me and you're just not going to sit and chew on garlic cloves, you can always get some type of non-GMO pure form of some kind of garlic powder, and you can infuse that into things that you eat. Like you can infuse it into eating salad, you can infuse it into breading things that you like, you can infuse it into your pastas. There's all kinds of ways to infuse garlic. And again, you can use the fresh cloves, which I recommend, but it's not always possible to just sit around chewing garlic. Now, let me tell you, when I first started chewing on garlic in my 20s, I would smell it through my skin, and I didn't like that. So I went to the peel form and have kind of stuck there ever since with the ingesting garlic into my body. And I noticed that it helps with a lot of different things. And I didn't know that it was such a powerful antibiotic until I started thinking about, ways to lessen the mucus and to not get caught up in inflammation and all of that. And that's why I started taking garlic for myself. So again, most of the things you're going to hear me talk about is not just something I read, but these are things that I'm actually actively involved in. And I can only tell you from my perspective what I think about them, what I've learned about them, what they've done for me, and how I really, really feel that they've helped my health. And I can only talk from my perspective. I can't give you any kind of scientific information because I can only tell you about me because I'm only in control of me. Now, if you take these type of things, it may work a different way for you than for me. Horseradish root. There's two roots that I never thought of, and one of them is, what did I get? Some bergamot root and this horseradish root. I didn't know there was a such thing as a root, but I guess in order to create whatever it is that needs to be created out of it, it is going to be made out of horseradish. And yesterday I wanted to show you, I had on my mother-daughter ish shirt, but I want to also show you my little dress that I got when I was in Southeast Asia. It is such a cute little dress and made out of kind of like almost like crepe paper mesh. It is the cutest thing. But anyway, back on topic. Um But having the horseradish root, you can make that into a tea. You can put it into your smoothie if you ground it up and powder it up and pour it. Now you can take all of these things and infuse them into what you're already doing in order to get that in there. Again, the most effective thing that has worked for me is to gather all my ingredients up, put them into little small containers, or they have the really small short like this jars. They don't have to be the big mason jars. They can be the little small ones. I get them from Dollar Tree, $1.25, I'm sorry. And you can get them from there and you can start infusing. And let's say you want to put some tea and mix 5 or 6 other things with it. And then on this day, you want to add this, the one with the garlic, but this is the one with this is the one with the that. And that way, all you're doing is taking a scoop out and putting it into whatever you want. But I have found that when I have to go and grab all of my things on the shelf and line them up and then try to figure out I don't want to make whatever I'm making because I feel like it's going to take away too much of my time. It's just the way my brain works. Onion. We know that onion is good with supporting hair, with not just growth, but thickness and keeping it healthy. We know that onion is good for your skin. We know that onion tastes good when you infuse it into different meals. It gives it certain flavors and things like that. But there is also onion powder. I know you've seen it in the store because I have onion powder, just like I have pepper, and then I have white pepper, and then I have black pepper. So there's different kinds of pepper. So like regular pepper has black and white speckles. Black pepper is just black, and then white pepper is white. So it's like when I use my, let's just say I make a fresh orange juice squeeze, if I put a little turmeric and a little pepper, oh man, it really does good to help digest everything and eliminate and all that stuff. But onion powder or onions, period, are good. Now, I know you have probably seen on one of the social media sites, probably more since photos and videos, probably on Instagram, where back in the day, and when I say that, it was a long time ago, but back in the day, maybe grandmother, great grandmothers, they used to cut an onion. And if a baby had a cold or whatever, they would take the onion, put it in the bottom of the child's feet, put socks on them, and then it would draw out all of the impurities and all of the sickness of that child. And they say with that next day, that child will be good. I wish I knew all of these things when I was raising my 4 children. I wish I had known about more healthy, healing type of modalities instead of going and getting the amoxicillin or going and getting this and going and getting shots and all of that stuff to heal these natural type of things that we can do, because I would have really appreciated knowing those things. But here we are, and I'm now teaching it to them, and none of my children have children. So those kids are going to be so blessed because they will now have all of these things that their grandmother has learned. I can't even imagine being called grandmother. Like, hmm, oof, that hurt. Anyway, those kids are going to be so blessed. Habanero peppers. Now, if you like hot, I've heard people say they squeeze their fresh orange juice or whatever kind of juice. They'll add some turmeric and they'll add a little bit of black pepper, but then they also add in cayenne pepper. But habanero peppers are supposed to be really good antibiotic. And I would say if you've ever gone to Mexico and you've had a good hot pepper, baby, it can really light you on fire. And I mean that in many kind of ways. You can figure it out for yourself. Oregano oil. I'm going to share with you my experience with oregano oil. It is very powerful. It is very strong smelling. Every time I drink oregano oil, I feel like a root grows up in me or something because it's such a powerful oil. And this is, I'm talking about that you can do little droplets into whatever juice or whatever you're drinking to heal or whatever. I'm not talking about alcohol or anything like that, but oregano oil is very powerful. The smell, the taste. The only way I've been able to really ingest the oregano oil is when I'm drinking my natural holistic herbal teas, because those herbal teas already have a natural type of flavor to them. So what I'll do is after I do that with the oregano oil, I'll then infuse it with some of my teas that smell flowery, like you were hearing me talk about how fresh my breath was yesterday because of the tea that I was drinking. But I will also maybe infuse some type of rose or some kind of tea in that. Just again, I'm all about taste and smell and all of that. So I will infuse that because oregano oil, I see why it can be a good antioxidant because it is so powerful smelling. It's not the best smell. I'm not even gonna lie to you and be like, oh, well, you can have it. It's one of those things that you have to acquire a taste for. Turmeric. Now, turmeric comes in turmeric powder. It comes in pill form. It comes in a root. I have all three. Powders for my soaps, the root for my teas, and the peel for when I'm traveling and if I want to just take it with me. But turmeric has so many different healing modalities. And I would suggest that you get your turmeric from places that you know is going to be the real deal. There is a store near, well, it's not near me. It's about maybe 45 minutes from me, but it's I can't even think of the name. It's an Indian store on Hollister and FM 1960 in Houston, and it's called like Rashna something. Anyway, it's an Indian store that has the fresh turmeric there, and they get it from other countries. And so, what I'm always looking for, and I've been on a real good quest, and I'm going to bring a show to you about it probably during the month of August or something. But I have been going to all of the different stores from different countries, and I've been finding wonderful things. So far, I've gone to some African stores, I've gone to a few Mexican stores, I've gone to um a Bulgarian store. I've gone to a Pakistani store. There's been several Haitian store, Jamaican store. So I've made a list of all of the different cultures that have stores here in Houston. Because, again, we're a big melting pot. So I know I can find anything right here. And then when I travel, I go into those stores. But I have just found that they each have so much to offer. So if you would open up your mind and think about some of those stores that can help you on your natural healing journey. And I'm not saying that you have to be unhealed to heal, but I'm talking preventative at this point because I'm speaking again from my own personal perspective. So think about some of those things that you can do for yourself as a preventative measure, and holistic healing could be one of those things that you might want to look into. And then my final, but not only, my last one is going to be the raw honey. Now, depending on where you're going to get your raw honey from is going to depend on the different infused raw honeys that you could get. Like I just got a raw honey that had elderberry in it, infused in it. I got one that had some kind of orange molasses something infused in it. And then I got one that had some kind of, I can't remember, some kind of berry in it. I wish I had brought it in here because I could show it to you, but one of those honeys is just really great. I have a bunch of books on different natural herbs, and if you, as you can see, I have, books everywhere, but they're literally littered everywhere on bookshelves around me. But I have a book on healing and all of the different herbal things, and the book is like about that thick. And in there, it talks about every single tea, every single plant, every single herb, every single natural thing that's either in our country or someone else's country that can help you to heal or help you with preventative or help you with your skin, your hair, your nails, your body, your mind, your soul, everything. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's my show for today on the 11 most powerful antibiotics that you can have in your house. Now, when I go back through this list, I think if I had to pick out top three, I just always like to do everything in three. And let me tell you where I got that from. Steve Jobs, when he used to do his talk at the annual Apple convention type of thing, he would always talk in threes. Like he's going to give you 3 points. He's going to give you three ideas. He's going to tell you three different changes. He's going to talk about three things that'll help you. He's going to do everything in three. So I kind of learned that from him, doing everything in three. So if I had to pick three from this list, I would absolutely say that we all have an onion. I would not imagine anybody who cooks on a regular basis does not have a white onion, a yellow onion, a purple onion. Okay. I can't imagine that you wouldn't have an onion. I would also say that everyone has some type of apple cider vinegar. I mean, I know people who drink apple cider vinegar because they say it's good for their blood pressure. If that works for them, great. I tasted apple cider vinegar and was like, mm, I can't do it. And then I am going to throw, I would say everybody has some honey, simply because you can use honey on biscuits, you can use honey on toast, you can use honey by itself, you can use honey in your teas. I like to start with my tea warm, honey it up for the sweetness. And then by the end of the day, I like to drink cold tea, like I'm drinking cold tea today. And so I would like to say that I think everyone has a honey. I would say everyone has an onion and everyone has some kind of apple cider vinegar. But then too, I'm thinking about it when it comes to the vinegar, most of us probably have white vinegar because I know I clean my bathroom with it. I mop my floors with it, along with other things. And then when I was eating meat, I would always wash the meat. I got that from someone from Haiti that said, this is how we do it in Jamaica, this is how we do it in Haiti. We don't cook our meat without washing it in vinegar to kill all of the impurities on it. So that is the show that I wanted to present to you today. Tomorrow, I have something totally good for you. Let me see what I've got on the schedule for talking about tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about some small habits that will earn you some respect. And that's going to come from a holistic point of view on things that you can do that will help you with all of those spiritual, mental, and emotional things that you can do that'll help with that. And that is also a part of your healing, getting your mind right and your thought right, and the words that come out of your mouth right. That's also a part of your healing journey as well. So I think that's what I may talk about tomorrow. I might change my mind, so don't hold me to it. I talk about things that when I wake up in the morning, is that what I want to talk about today? And then I cue everything up and that's what I talk about. So don't hold me to anything that I tell you, unless I say I'm doing a particular series for a month. You can hold me to that. But as far as topics, it could be anything. But just know that for the month of May, you're going to get everything that has to do with holistic, everything has to do with herbal, everything that has to do with natural healing, everything that has to do with holistic. So that is what you're getting for the month of May. You may get something 4 or 5 times a week. I don't know. Depends on how I feel when I wake up. But that is my show for today. And I will see you next time. You know what? Down in the comment box, why don't you tell me what it is that you do preventative wise for your natural healing, for your holistic healing? Preventative. What are you doing? Or if you'd like to share with us what you did after you were forced to use a more holistic approach. That's my show for today. Thank you so much, mothers and daughters, and see you next time. Bye.